Welcome to KDrama Divas, a podcast and community for passionate fans of Korean dramas. Join us as we explore the captivating world of K-dramas, discussing the latest releases, timeless classics, and everything in between. Whether you're a seasoned K-drama addict or just stepping into this addictive realm, get ready to laugh, cry, and fangirl with the KDrama Divas. Welcome to the KDrama Divas podcast. It's Wednesday night and we're recording. My name's Amanda.
I'm Maureen. I'm Serina.
We're the KDrama Divas.
Hi.
Hi. The first thing we have to talk about tonight is BTS.
News. Give us the news.
Yes, J-Hope came home from the military last week. I'm sure everybody who is a BTS fan knows that already, but he did.
Yeah.
So now Jin and J-Hope are finished with their military obligation, and there's just 5 people remaining.
Wow.
But we have to wait till June for the next.
Oh, all the way to June?
Yes.
Wow.
And
yes.
who will that be?
Kim Taehan and Namjoon will be the 6th to the 7th. And then a day later is JK and Jimin.
Wow.
And then, like in August, is Suga.
Wow. So really, they'll all be out, but they probably won't be ready to be back together performing in
For another
August.
year,
or
probably.
October, November.
Actually, Jin has a record coming out next month.
But that single, like
Yeah.
they all did singles.
But it's a brand new, and he's been out since June,
Mm-hmm.
Jin. And so with it coming out, I mean, I feel like maybe they could, but who knows?
Yeah, maybe they could. I don't know how long
The
it
guy
takes.
that we listened to on the Korean.
I don't know what.
Oh my gosh, Kenji.
Our Korean friend,
Who is that?
she has a YouTube, I think. She tells herself, what does he say, your Korean friend?
No.
Just-
Anyway,
She's not going to answer.
he has in 2025 he's got a tour coming for Korea, and he says it's all BTS, where they've eaten, where they slept, just every place.
Wait. So this YouTuber guy, he's going to do a concert?
No, he's going to do a tour and
What do you mean?
He's already filling up too. People have already grabbed it, so there's not too many spots left. He's taking people to Korea and where BTS has. And then when they stay, like
Oh.
their first place was this one dorm. Oh gosh, I don't even know where, but they all shared a room. 7 guys in a
So
room.
people are going to Korea to
my-
do a tour in Korea of all these BTS
Yeah.
places.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Now I got you.
Yeah.
And how much is that going to cost?
I know.
What? Oh, no. I don't know. We can't afford it, so.
I have not looked into it because
You're afraid you're going to go to Korea without us?
no,
You could. No?
no, I couldn't do that.
Do you have their passports?
No.
I have to get mine
I keep thinking about it.
renewed.
No, we really do.
They make it so simple these days too.
Do they?
Well, they're talking about how you can do it from even your bed, you know?
Well, probably online.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
With your phone, you can do it anywhere.
That's really funny.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're good at multitasking,
Well, we'll have to look into that. All right, so moving on.
yes.
Our Korean words, we've done 2 of them.
Okay.
Do we remember what they were?
Baram, meaning wind.
Very good.
Good job, Maureen.
Wind. Although I will say, I think since we got that word, I've had wind come up in a couple different dramas, and it didn't sound like Baram. I could not even hear the word Baram.
But you know what?
I was disappointed.
It's really interesting how, I mean, a lot of stuff that you think you know, when they pronounce it,
When they
different.
pronounce it, and plus with the thing that I'm doing, which I've learned isn't the best app to use, my My nephew told us this last week that,
Oh, no.
no, I should be using one of these others, and he had a whole list of them. So anyway, there's also, I mean, just like in English, there can be one word, there can be one object, but different words you use for it. So I think it's the same thing too, because just in this app, I've noticed that it's like, well, wait a minute, like ice. Sometimes they'll use ice, sometimes they use autumn. So I don't know why they use the word autumn for ice sometimes, and
That is strange.
why one versus the other. So I'm wondering if it's something like that, or maybe the what is it, the proper and the non, the what do you, honorifics, or is that the right word?
Oh,
I
maybe
don't
that's
know.
it.
I have no idea. So
But I remembered, Baram.
good job.
Now, Serena, what was your word?
Mine was really hard, so I really have to think about it. I think it was piano.
Oh, very good. Good thing.
That's so bad. Wow. So are you going to pull today, Amanda?
Yes, it's my turn.
Okay.
Where's the word?
Drum roll, please.
Okay. Okay.
Random.
I've almost got one.
Dun, 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 dun,
Oh,
dun.
knee.
Oh,
As in my knee.
I can tell that from the picture on the back.
so how do you say it in?
Murup. It's Mureup. Murup?
Europe?
No, not Europe.
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 But I don't know if that's true. Should we consult
Should I?
Uncle Google?
How do you say knee in Korean? Except I think that might.
In Korean, that's
무릎,
M-U-L-E-U-P. Is that what it says on there?
No, it says Mureup.
Because the R makes the L sound. That is why.
Oh, Murup.
Yeah.
Wait, is
Should
that
I
what
do
they
it again?
said?
Ready?
무릎,
Mulut. Mulut.
Murup. Okay, this is getting too hard.
Like mulut. Mulut. Put together. Mulut.
Murup.
I know. It's not so hard.
It is really hard. I don't know if I can do it, but you don't remember the apps your nephew told us to use?
Oh, I could look him up there on my phone. but-
Okay, you need to tell us at least later so that we can keep
Okay.
up to date.
I was going to ask where my glasses are, but they're on the top of my head. Yes. So I don't know if, I don't remember if we were texting or if we were Facebooking. So I don't know if you have something else you want to chat about while I look.
Well, remember our good friend from Batavia,
Yes.
Illinois? They're back. They didn't completely disown us after talking about them so much.
Did you just see that she was online or he was online again, or did they say something?
No, they have never said anything, but you should say something. No, I just saw they're downloading our episodes, and I'm so curious who they are. We always talk about Batavia and wonder if they're listening.
Yeah. So hopefully they will give us a high five or a thumbs up or something. So, okay. So he said he's used Lingo Deer, Lingoder for Chinese, but most of the time he uses YouTube. Lots of teaching channels that go into words, conjunctions, and sentence structures. He says for Korean especially, since you'll have consonants, vowels, and final consonants for each character.
He's too smart.
I know. He says, I don't know if Lingo Deer has Korean or not, but it was pretty good. Drops was another one, but again, didn't know if it had Korean. Korean Class 101 in YouTube is a good start. They have in-depth videos. And then it says Korean with INA, I-N-A, is another one that he knows is really good. Then a friend, his friend was using Duolingo, which is the one I've been using for Japanese, until Daniel introduced him to the YouTube channels. And now he's able to talk to people in Japanese. Wow. So then he says it's definitely a help to take notes, practice writing and speaking. He said, I also use an app called Interpals to find all of his pen pals. So he says I could find some Koreans to talk to as pen pals. Hello Talk is another one that's popular. So all kinds of stuff, but he really was pushing getting Korean pen pals.
That's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
But then you're writing, you're not really speaking, right?
Right. I would assume so. I don't know, but I guess that's all the different countries he's gone in, all the languages. I think that's what he does is he's learning and gearing up as having pen pals. I'm not good. I told him, I said, I'm not good at the whole, I don't think I'd be good at the pen pal thing because to sit and write something.
But you know, we knew Young Yi.
We knew Young Yi. What's that?
He could have talked to us. In Korean.
It was my dad's caregiver at the home where he lived. Well, maybe we should try to get her to teach us.
Yes.
Would Young Yi teach us?
And we might also.
Does Mike speak Korean?
I think he knows a lot.
Don't worry if you're listening. This is still a Korean drama podcast.
Cut all this out.
It's so funny. Lingo Deer is a thing.
Does it have Korean?
But it's $14.99 a month.
Oh.
Or $40 quarterly, or $79.99 a year, or $159 for a lifetime.
Wow. And it's taking you a lifetime to figure it out. But I'm wondering, because he kept talking about YouTube, that how YouTube has so many good
They do.
things.
I'm sure
So
they
maybe
do.
that's the better way to go.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
And then I wouldn't have to, every night I go to bed. And what I do is I get on my Duolingo and I do my, 15, 20 minutes of practicing. And I think it irritates Marks. And I have to do it because you have to keep your points going, right? Because you get rewarded.
Right.
And you don't want to drop down to the level below. So you have to keep doing it. So anyway.
Wow.
Poor Mark.
He'll be fine. It's good for him.
It is good for him. He makes fun of me. What?
So anyway, K-dramas. What have you been watching lately?
Oh, what have I been watching lately? Oh, my idea is Gingham Beauty. That's what I've been watching.
Okay, you can't give too much away because we're going to do a podcast on it, right?
I know.
But thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs up so far.
Okay, and how far into it?
I think I'm on episode 10, and I really just want to finish it. I want to finish it this week. So many things happen, and I think I'm going to watch this all in a week. But then, yeah.
And then the week happens.
And then
conflicts.
life happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so annoying.
Right.
Well, I've been watching Reflection of You, and I know that you too would not like it.
Is it a new one?
No, it's from 2021.
Oh, okay.
But, it's strange because I actually got into that. I mean, it's funny because when it about? You kind of... When I found it again last week, I turned it on, and it said continue with episode 3.
Oh, that's right.
And I thought, wow, I don't even remember the first few episodes. And I just finished watching them after I watched everything else. I thought, I'm going to go back and look at the beginning. And I was thinking, I didn't miss that much. I really didn't. I mean, but it's sad.
That's why we wouldn't like it.
Oh. And then it's also so irritating. It's like, but to make it more deep. Well, unfortunately, I think he's the male lead. He ends up dying at the end.
Oh, that's terrible.
Spoiler alert. Brian. He ends up dying at the end. Well, actually, he's stabbed by her daughter.
Even worse. Spoiler.
Oh,
that's
and
terrible.
so she gets rid of his body in the water.
That's the ending.
Female lead.
That's the ending.
No, that's not the ending, but it's leading up to the ending.
Wow.
And the second female lead, I have to say I did not like her at all. And I liked her in Hospital Playlist, but I did not like her in this.
Who was she in Hospital Playlist?
She was, the doctor that they all wanted. And she had a thing for the pediatrician, the girl with the glasses.
They all wanted her? I don't know about
The
that.
other doctors in there would say, can't you help me with my surgery? Oh, can't you help me with my surgery? That's
yeah.
what I mean.
Okay.
Wanted her for her work.
It's not, I'm sorry.
We misconstrued that.
Anyway, I really liked her in Hospital Playlist, not in this.
No. Okay. Well, we won't put that on our watch list.
We will not.
I've been watching, Maureen, you told me on Sunday to watch My Dearest. Well, I think on our last podcast, you mentioned it too. So I was just trying to look to see what episode I'm on, but I think I'm on like somewhere between 6 and 10. I don't know, somewhere in there. So,
How do you like it?
I have mixed feelings. I mean, I like it, but I don't think Amanda will. I think there's just too much fighting and blood and gore, kind of. It's not a happy, it's definitely a darker, not dark, but it's not the happy rom-coms that we like so much. There's a lot more gruesome, sad.
But it's a happy ending, I will tell you that.
Don't tell me those.
I'm going to have to tell you both. It's a happy ending. She can't help them, though. That's all I'm going to say. It's a happy ending, though, because, and I'm telling you, people love it, and I loved it.
And I love Namjoon. Man, this is the lead, the male lead. So he looks so familiar to me. And I know that you told me that this is, I wouldn't recognize him, but I think he looks like and I could be wrong. I meant to look it up and I just didn't. Who was he was in Hospital Playlist, the tall, thin doctor that,
Yeah.
I think his face looks like his or somebody else's.
But it's not him, though.
I know, but it doesn't it? I think, isn't he the one he looks like? To me, he just looked really familiar, and maybe that's not the right person that I'm thinking of.
I could be who you're thinking of, but no, it's not him.
Yes. I actually looked that up because it's like, it's got to be him, or whoever I was thinking of, But yeah, at this point, I would not recommend it to Amanda. I don't think she would like it.
I'm not in the mood to watch it right now. I know that makes you mad. Because you've been trying to get me to watch it for probably 6 months.
Well, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. I just felt so. I really do.
I really do. It talks in code.
No,
she's holding her heart, everyone.
I mean, I don't know how to describe it. I'm not good at words, although I would like to write. But
so good.
I mean, I'm not
Articulating.
Yeah, out loud. Yes.
With pen and paper, you're great. Hire her.
Here, I'll give you a piece of paper. Write down what you think of it, and I'll read it.
And oh my goodness,
so we've learned nothing by this full conversation.
So
well,
I'll let you know.
I'm sure that our listeners have probably watched it.
Oh, there's a lot of judgment in that statement. If only you could see her face.
Judgment towards
towards me right now. Fun.
Here, take a picture.
Judge me, Mom.
Yeah.
It's pretty judgy. Is that judgy look?
I need to put my glasses on.
I don't know. I tried to take a picture.
Let me see it.
She's judging me a little bit. Now she wants. I don't know what. Okay. Anyway, I'll think about it. I'll think about watching that.
I'll let you know how it goes.
Okay.
So far, I don't think you would want to sit through what I've watched.
Even though it is pretty, I mean, yes, because there is a war going on.
There is a big war going on.
Has she? Okay.
Oh, no, don't ask if something has happened.
So on to the part where the war is over, they've seen each other again, and now he's, the guy that she likes, says that he's going to marry the other gal soon, and so she's heartbroken. The male lead that we like, overhears, because he overhears everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so now he's saying he's going to be shipped off to another bad place. So that's where I'm at. So, okay. Don't look at me anymore so I don't read anything out of it. Even though I'm sure I know what's going to happen. That's how we'll get there.
Okay, well, let's move on now.
Let's move on.
So we just finished Dali and the Cocky Prince, and we haven't talked about it at all, really, together.
No.
So I'm excited to talk to you guys about this because it's part of my discovering older K-drama K-drama gems, I guess.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if it was going to be good or not when I
Right.
started watching it, right?
I don't know that it's that old though.
Well, I mean, older than when I
It's from
started
2021,
watching.
it says.
Oh, I thought it was 2018.
And this says 2021 right
No.
here. But
Well, what do I know? That's so funny. I didn't even know.
You have to remember she was a supporting actress before, like in 2020 when she was in It's Okay to Not Be Okay. She was basically the supporting actress in that.
She was, but I barely remember her in it.
yeah.
I mean, she moved up to starring in them. So she wouldn't have star and then be a
Yeah.
star.
I
Okay,
guess I
but
don't think about it like that.
it's okay not to be okay was only 2020 and this
Exactly.
was 2021. So
Yeah, but she was thinking it might be 2018. And
Clearly, I'm wrong. It's okay. I'm all right with being
Uh-huh.
wrong. I'm wrong a lot. You hear about all the ones that everyone's watched, and it's not like I've ever heard someone say, watch Dolly and the Cocky Prince. I've never heard that.
No.
I've never even heard of it.
no.
So, I really enjoyed it. At first, I was kind of like, what is this drama?
Just from the name of it?
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
first episode, I was kind of like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to even want to keep watching.
Right.
What did you guys think of the first episode?
they met in a foreign country.
Wasn't it Amsterdam?
Netherlands. Yeah.
Or
Oh,
the, yes.
Netherlands. Yeah. And
I remember a watch. It's been a while since I've seen it.
So
well,
he's going because, okay, so the premise is, and correct me if I'm wrong, his family owns a food restaurant, and I'll botch the word, so I'm not going to say what it is.
pork.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Okay,
something pork. I don't,
And like from the ground up, like he was a little boy and he like, instead of went to school, I think he was running errands for his dad, right?
serving soup.
Right. She comes from a very wealthy family.
Right.
So art world. Right. The art world, which is a whole different world. So he's going to the Netherlands for a conference at a pig farm, right? Or on a farm, some kind of farm.
Uh-huh.
She is living in the Netherlands and has, but they have some art dealer or art critic or something coming into town. The person that was supposed to pick this art person up had a family emergency, so they asked Dolly to go pick him up. So she has a sign for Mr. Jin or something, whatever his name was, right?
Mhm, Mr. Jin.
Thinking she's looking for the art person, and instead you thought the plane had seen the sign and they instantly at first sight fall in love. But of course it's not ever that easy, right?
Right.
She takes him to this person's house where they're having the art show, and he's supposed to talk about the art, critique the art or whatever, right? And explain it. So they ask him, thinking he's the art critic, about his favorite painting in her house. And she's got all of these huge pieces of work that are, by top main people. And he focuses in on the one that I guess this gal's aunt or somebody drew or painted. 3 pigs in a pig pen, and it basically they're behinds. So he starts talking about how they're supposedly some kind of pig, but it's really that's not what they are, because they're not the right shape, they're not the right size. Then he focuses in on the fecal matter, and everybody is just kind of flabbergasted to kind of how they start their relationship. He then, at some point, he does something, and what was it that went flying and ruined a painting? Remember that?
It was it a seed or like an olive?
It was an olive. I think it was an olive. And so it punctures this painting that is supposedly worth lots and lots of money. Here to find out, Dolly, because she knows so much about art, realizes that it's a fake. So, and the gal hadn't fully paid for it. So in the end, he kind of saved the day. But until that all was figured out, everybody thought he was an idiot.
And
Okay, so that's the start of it.
and when the pig, him pointing out the pig art or whatever, they're shocked. Like, out of all the lines, that one. And then he said you could tell that the one pig was dying, the one that was laying down.
That's right.
And it was almost like they're amazed at how much he knew about pigs.
Right. That's true.
But wasn't that funny?
It was funny.
It was so funny. I kind of forgot about how funny it was until you brought it up, Serina.
So I think, because I think when you told me about it, I think you had told me that you had a hard time getting through the first one. And I don't think I had a hard time because I was laughing. I thought it was...
That's true. That's true.
There were a lot of funny moments in it.
There were. And, yeah, oh my gosh.
And then on the flip side, the person that she was supposed to pick up, the actual art critic or whatever he was, ended up going obviously to the other function that was going on, the festival, the pig festival. It ends up having the time of his life, ends up drinking and dancing all night long, and ends up he's like sleeping at the pig, passed out. So both had a great time, just different way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
It is funny. Oh my gosh, I forgot all about that.
Do you want to talk about, because you brought up the watch?
Yeah, do you remember the watch?
It's weird. I just watch.
So when before he leaves town, he realizes how much he likes Dolly and he wants to stay connected with her. So he promises to come back and visit her museum, even though he's going to be really busy and doesn't have time. And he takes off his watch and gives it to her.
Can we butt in just a second? Back up? Because he came from nothing, he is obsessed with money.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? So this watch isn't just a watch. It's a very, very expensive watch, and it's like his prized possession, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you take it from there.
So he gives it to her and says, "You have my watch now. I have to get it back from you."
Mm-hmm.
Well, right after that happens, and he's leaving, he realizes, I don't have her name. I don't know really where she lives or
Her phone number
or anything. I don't know how I'm going to see her again. And so he's running after her. And just before that, she gets a call that her dad has passed away. And so she's taking off.
We don't know that. All we know is she's crying.
Yeah, she's crying and leaving. And so he never finds out her name. And he's never able to see her again after that. And so he thinks she ran off with what woman?
Well, yeah, because
partially.
His assistant was like...
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't think that of her, but the assistant does.
Yes, and convinces him of it.
And the assistant in this is
the girl that we've seen in several.
She's been in so many.
Oh my goodness. What's wrong with Secretary Kim?
Of course, in Romance.
Yes. Oh my gosh. She'd been in.
Yeah, I was looking up really
Business
quick.
Proposal.
No, not
Business
She was in
Proposal?
Business Proposal.
Oh, yeah, she was.
Hyena.
Yes, Hyena.
Really?
So many. So many
Yeah.
of the ones we've seen.
Yes.
It was a strange role for her, though. I felt like it was such a small role. I was kind of surprised she took it.
It wasn't. And
It seemed unusual. I don't know. I just thought, why are you in this?
I just think her position, I mean, it was an odd character.
Mm-hmm.
And this is neither here nor there, but all of her clothes were so big and so baggy. Did you notice that? Even her shoes looked like they were 3 times too big for her.
Yeah, at one point, I thought, is she pregnant? And they're trying to hide it? But like they do.
I hadn't thought about that.
She did have a baby recently.
Really?
Yes,
Okay, now I'm
but
gonna
I
look it
don't
up.
know if it was back then.
I'm
It makes
looking
you
up.
wonder, though.
It does, huh?
Because I thought, this is so weird.
I don't think she had. I mean, I think she's had the baby since then. I don't think it was in 2021.
Well, now we have to know. Researcher.
I'm trying to find it. Okay, so that was episode 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then what where do we go from there?
Oh, so much happens throughout this whole drama. But you learn that Dolly's family, they're very rich, very like established family, and they give a lot back to the community. And especially her father, well, I guess her whole family, but they were really involved with the orphanage. Right?
Yeah.
Does that sound familiar? And so she kind of has this pseudo family member, brother. You don't really know who he is, but then you find out he was from the orphanage.
Mm-hmm.
And in one flashback, she's saying to him, like, we're family. And I just thought that was so odd. I'm like, why would she call him family? I mean, I know they're close, but what makes him family versus other people at the orphanage? It just made me curious, like, why she connected so much with him.
Well, and I was confused about the relationship for quite a while, but I think it was just because, to answer your question, is because I think he was getting into trouble. He needed help, so that Dolly's dad kind of adopted him, but not legally, but just in a
Well, and I mean, eventually it made more sense to me by the end of it,
right.
But I mean, that's something I thought of right away. Like, that seems interesting.
Yeah. But it was
a sweet friendship. Because I thought, does he like her?
So I had the same thought.
I wondered, but then it seemed like he didn't really like her and was just protective over her like a big brother.
Right. But I kept wondering, is this going to be the love triangle, you know?
But I don't think
that wasn't it.
No.
The gal we were talking about that plays I don't know, I want to say his bodyguard almost, but his assistant, she dated someone for 10 years.
Wow.
And then they got married November of 22. And then in November of 23, she announced that she was pregnant and her son was born on May 23rd of 24.
Okay, so she just had.
So it wouldn't have been trying to cover up a pregnancy.
No.
They do that in American shows all the time, right?
Right.
And so, well, it just seemed odd. All of it seemed odd to me. Just because I just have never seen her in a role quite like that.
Right.
And
it was odd. But maybe in the drama they, if you want to pretend real life, he came from nothing. He came in, so maybe he just liked that down in, I don't know, she wasn't polished. She didn't seem like she was the brightest, so maybe it's just because of his background.
Yeah.
That's why he selected her to be his right-hand person.
And maybe she was like, I have to dress the part like I'm his.
Yeah. Yeah. It all didn't fit.
Yeah.
But
I ended up liking her.
Yeah.
Because at first I was like, is she on his side? Is she? And I was just kind of like, I don't know.
Does she like him? Or, because that was going to be an issue.
Yeah. But she was a good assistant and loyal to him.
Right. And only had good intentions.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll just go ahead. I mean, I kind of hinted on this already, but my biggest surprise watching this, I'm curious if you saw this coming, Serina. And I'm wondering what you thought, Mom. But I never had a clue that she was adopted.
No, Dolly. I didn't either.
And that
that was a shock.
I was shocked.
I was shocked
too. And then I was even more shocked to learn she knew she was adopted.
Right. Yes.
I mean, I did not see that storyline coming at all.
Not at all. Not at all. And like you said, I thought maybe she didn't know.
Right. And at further, like when someone says there's nothing, when her one worker or whatever, I don't know what you call it, who had grown up in the orphanage with her, said there's nothing different between you and me besides the family we were born into.
Right.
It was, I was thinking she's hinting, that seems odd, but I just would have never, I was so surprised.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a plot twist.
And I didn't even take what she was saying as hinting at something. I thought she was just being mean, you know?
Yeah, mean and bitter.
Yeah. So you saw more into that than I did. So.
But it was such, I mean, it really, I think that whole part just really, I don't know. It was such a good twist and it shocked me. And then to find out that her ex-fiance broke up with her because she was adopted.
That.
So it's been a long time since my mom's seen this. I feel really bad.
I knew we were going to do this for you. Been watching.
I know, but I didn't. I planned to, but I never got around to it.
So she's quiet. She's just remembering.
I am. I mean, there are some parts I do remember.
So tell us what you remember.
But I remember, well, I know that they are brought together because her family is like bankrupt or something, or they owe his family money.
Oh, that's true. We didn't even talk about that.
No.
And so he is there like, well, first he was there with his goons or whatever that he hired, but
oh my gosh.
His restaurant workers.
Nuts. It was nuts. So, yes. I mean, okay. So that part,
there's a lot of different storylines and twists to this, so it's hard to kind of put it all chronologically in order, right?
Yeah, it is. But that is such a good point. It brings, yeah. Oh my gosh. So she owes him $1 million. Is it $1 million US? I don't know. It's a whole lot of money, right?
Right.
Because 1,000,000 won. I don't know. Whatever. It's a lot of money.
I think it was more than 1 million.
I know.
Yeah, $1 million won's only like 100,000 or like 87,000 or something.
I feel like it's $1 million. Then
there's a lot of money.
I think it is too.
And so her dad's passed away, and there's just some strange things going on with the music. She's basically penniless, has no money, and his stepbrother, I guess you could call him, talked him into investing into this museum, this art museum. So he wants to be paid back because his dad is furious. He doesn't know Dali's family owns it and the Dali's there. And this is how they get reunited, right? It's the most, it just, this is when their differences really shine because she's educated and classy. And he hires all these guys. Yes, the perfect word. And they all take off their shirts and they just lie on the floor
in the museum.
It's horrifying and ridiculous. They're trying to intimidate her, but it's the most like low class.
Totally.
Ridiculous. Uneducated.
Right. No, I mean, this movie was funny. To me, it had everything. I mean, I just throw that out there. I thought it was, I think the storyline, the plot, everything about it was great.
It was.
So
it was.
Anyways, not that we're at the end, but.
No, I mean, I don't know how much we could really say about it, except I did want to touch on the adoption thing.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming. And I mean, and when you hear she had an ex-fiance and he broke her heart, you think, oh, it was like the family didn't like her or something like that.
Right.
You don't think it's as low as you were adopted.
Right. Because being adopted in Korea, I think, is you're very looked down upon. You're like low class, right?
So sad.
That's what I understand just from watching K-dramas. That's what I'm getting. So if I'm wrong, correct me. But so she was nothing, even though now she was adopted into a rich family.
And then after that, you see all the abuse she gets, even from within the family, from her uncle for being adopted. She's not accepted. It's so sad.
And the oldest boy in the family, in the family unit, he wasn't nice to her.
Yeah, he thinks he should inherit everything.
Right. Because he's the oldest male.
Yeah, blood heir.
Right.
It's awful.
Yeah.
And
Sure
then
is.
what else? Oh, sorry.
No. We haven't, you mentioned the fiance, but we haven't really talked about him in that whole thing.
He is such an evil snake.
He is totally evil. Totally evil. And then, I mean, the way he treated her when he broke up with her, and then to come back and schmooze her and pretend like, you know, the world revolves around her and there's nobody but her. And he has, you know, I mean, he just pours it on, and he's a horrible snake in the grass.
Yeah. I mean, I think he really did want her back.
No.
I do. I think he
Really?
did. I do. I think he wanted her
I
back.
thought he did.
But so I think he wants her back, but he wants her under his thumb, and he wants control of everything.
Yeah.
Well, if she wasn't part of the museum, do you think he really wanted her back? I think it was all because he wanted the museum.
I think,
It wasn't true love.
no. I mean, I don't think he knows how to love anyone.
Right. Except
but
himself.
I think that it was almost like perfect. I want the museum and I want her because I haven't been able to stop thinking about her since we broke up. I've never been able to get over her or find someone better. So I think he was like, I'll just win her back because I have money and I can do it. And I'll just, you know, grind the museum into the ground. Perfect. I'll get the girl. I'll get the museum. I'll look like the hero.
Yeah.
That's what I think his plan was.
Yeah.
And that's when the male lead pig restaurant came, Mr. Jin,
Yeah.
Mr. Jin came. I think he was like, how dare her like anyone besides me? And
Right.
it made him more competitive.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
So terrible.
He was a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
So, and going back to the male lead, I thought it was great to see the growth in him. I mean, we've talked about this in other dramas, but how he grew, you know, from when they first met.
He did. I mean, like you said, he was all about money
Right?
completely. But you learn it's not all about the money with him. Or maybe he just changes because of her.
I
Yeah.
think she had a big influence on him. I mean, I think that he really cared about people
Mm-hmm.
all along. Not quite as much as the money, but I think he softened. I think his heart kind of changed a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I don't think maybe it's a different one I was watching, but he was just like, was not interested in relationships and women, just didn't really, that wasn't on his radar.
No.
So for him to fall for somebody had a big impact on him.
Yeah, I think you're
But
right.
she was so sweet. She was just like so sweet and so kind and just kind of had her father's heart, you know, to help people and to just kind of be as normal as, even though they had all that money, just as normal as somebody that didn't. So,
And she didn't look down on the male lead because he was uneducated.
right.
And I mean, he was uneducated. But
Yes.
that being said, he was amazing at business.
Exactly.
So he had his own set of strengths that she didn't have and that she didn't even understand.
Right.
And she kind of needed him.
Yes. They were a good fit together.
Yeah. And didn't they get together like early on in the story? I mean,
First episode.
yeah. I mean, you know, the kiss theme and everything.
Well, I don't know. Did they kiss the first episode? I don't remember.
Well, she falls on him.
She falls
on her.
Right. Because he's getting out of the shower and she's changing. Yeah. So they're pretty much not clothed a whole lot. Yes.
It was
So that
pretty
kind of
funny.
stuff started early on. Yes.
And the male lead's family was something else.
Oh, my word.
The father was kind of, he seemed like a better guy, better man, kind of, but not, well, no, I take it all back. But they were just awful.
They were awful. And I think the male lead got his love of money probably from his dad.
Mm-hmm.
But then you bring in, let's back up. So the male lead's mother dies when he's young,
Mm-hmm.
right? But there's a flashback of him seeing his dad in one of the restaurants flirting and making plans with, I think it was one of the workers there,
Mm-hmm.
which the dad ends up marrying her. And then they have she had this son that she brought to the marriage.
I don't think they're married.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't think they ever got married?
It seemed like
Well, it'd have to because the stepson changed his name and he would have had to have legally been, right?
Okay, maybe you're right. For some reason, I just
I
thought
could
they
be
never
wrong.
got married.
I could be wrong,
I could be wrong.
but she's a piece of work
Mom,
too.
what do you think?
I don't know.
No comment.
He's so
So funny.
I think I might go back and watch this again.
You should.
It's so good.
You should. The stepmom is
She's evil.
She's evil. She's obsessed with money in a totally different way. But
She's arrogant.
yeah, she looks down on everybody. She thinks she's, the
And she also came from nothing.
right.
And so that's even worse.
Yeah. So, I mean, even though they're all kind of obsessed with money in the family, it's at different levels and for different reasons. I'm not that one can be good and one is bad, but that's kind of how I see it. And she's just totally pushing her son, trying to get him to step up and be recognized and do something within the family so that the dad will accept him as a real son.
Yeah. And she wants the male lead to look bad.
Right.
She doesn't want her son to just be like considered the son. She wants him to be like the ultimate, the
Right.
only son, the
And
only heir.
he is older than the male lead.
Mhm.
So I guess technically, if it was real family, he would have been in that position.
Yeah.
But he's a bumbling idiot too,
He is. He's like kind of the worst of all of them.
Yeah.
Except he can fake looking normal for like 5 minutes
Right.
and then hyperventilate.
His mouth opens and yeah. The dynamics are great in between with all the different
Mhm.
characters and family members.
What about the ending?
Again, I mean, it was better than a lot of
Yeah.
them are, but it still didn't give me. I'm like 50, 60%, maybe 70% okay with the ending. I still
Yeah.
wanted a little more, but it was better than most.
I feel like the 70% for ending in our book for K-dramas is pretty good.
Yes, definitely.
Pretty good. The endings are so bad so often. At first, I was really mad because they lead you to believe that they've been apart for a whole year.
Right.
And I was so mad. I was so mad.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
when you realize they tricked you,
Yes. And I had a hard time processing that.
me too. It actually shook me because I was like, I'm not sure if I like this drama. When it was all over, I was so mad. But then after thinking about it for a week, I'm like, okay, I loved it. It was a good drama overall. But I was like, they've been apart for a year. And then all of a sudden you realize they just got into a fight and have been apart 1 week.
Right. And
It's-
he was on a business trip or something. So
Yeah.
she was.
Yeah.
She was upset. She was going on a business trip and they got
Yeah.
into a fight
Right.
over being apart 1 week.
Oh,
She
that's
remembered.
right. That's right. I do remember. I do
That's so funny.
So, and it's kind of cute. Like to now, like they're so in love, and
Yes.
it was and then he proposes, and you're just like,
Yeah.
"Aw."
Yeah. So the other disappointing part to me is it showed there was 17 episodes.
Oh, it did.
So I watched 16. They're standing at the end. He proposes. Everybody's happy. They're standing looking at the painting. Then it's showing the back of them, and then it ends. And I'm like, oh, good. They're going to give us a really good ending. So I turn on 17, and it's the secretary gal, the bodyguard, the male leads gal, and then the horrible ex-fiance guy, and then somebody else. Who even was it? I can't even remember who it was. And they were like kind of talking about it. And then, because I thought, okay, they're going to talk about it. They're going to give us some, and then they're like showing flashbacks of it. I was like 10 minutes into it and I was like, that kind of like made me mad.
Oh, no.
Did I have these high hopes of what 17 was going to be?
I didn't even see it, the 17th. I didn't even know that was there.
Oh my word, I was so mad.
Like Goblin, when they had the extra episode for Goblin, it's like they say 17 episodes, I think. And
Really?
It's Lee Dun-wook who played the Grim Reaper, and his female lead, the second female lead. And they're just sitting there talking about it because it was such a popular show.
The gal that was moderating it, is that the right word? They're like, she was like, I think she said, oh, you were probably expecting, the male lead to be here. I mean, because it wasn't even, and then he pops up and does a little video to everybody, but it was just like,
what's the point of that?
Yeah, I kind of like, I was really quite upset about that.
I'm glad I didn't see if there was 17 episodes.
No,
But you got the proposal.
that's not enough. That is not enough.
She wants to see their grandchildren. Okay.
Yes, I want to see the wedding. I want to see them in love for 500 years, and all the great, should we talk about overall? So the music, not really anything to write home about.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
I should have paid attention.
No, it wasn't. It
Really?
wasn't.
You don't think I'd like it?
Well, I mean, it wasn't. I don't think if I remember right, there wasn't a lot of it. And I think a lot of it was the same, but it wasn't anything.
But it wasn't terrible.
Bad. No, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't memorable.
No. But overall, I think I would rate this a 5.
I would definitely rate it a 5. And I think I told you that it was worthy to buy. I mean, it is one of my favorites.
I'm
it
surprised
really is.
by that rating that you both found.
Yeah.
Because I was never dreaming that you guys would both give it a 5.
I really loved it.
Me
I
too.
loved it.
Me too. It was so good.
Yeah.
And because it's not one that you hear about a lot. And so I feel like I've watched 2 really good ones in a row.
Yes.
1% of something, and then now Dolly and the Cocky Prince.
And Lovely Runner right before that, didn't we?
I know.
Yeah.
Some really good
We've had
ones.
some good ones.
That one was really good.
So
5 and 5. And Mom, do you even know what you'd rate it? Since you can't
I know, but it was good back when I watched it. But yeah, I know.
you don't remember how good.
I'll set to number 5, what you guys have said.
Okay, and then when you watch it again, if you need to change it, we'll have an official changing.
Okay.
All right. But on your list here, you give his dramas. He was in more than one Dr. Romantic. Well, he was in both
Have you seen any of these? I mean, other than she was in the female lead was It's Okay Not to Be Okay. I have not seen any of the other ones.
Oh, I've seen The Devil Judge and Celebrity.
Well, I don't remember seeing these people in anything else, minus the assistant.
Well,
Right.
she was in It's Okay.
I don't remember her in that.
I'm so stunned that you're saying that because you've seen that show at least twice.
No, I've only seen it once.
Wow.
Because Serina watched it on her own.
I've seen it at least 3 times. At least 3 times.
Mom, I barely have time to watch things once.
Exactly.
Oh, the judgment has started again.
I'm sorry.
For judging?
I'm sorry.
For what?
I just always speaker there. We rewatch them, but I guess it's just me.
It is just you. Well, that's not true because at the beginning, before we started podcasting, I would watch things more than once. But now I don't have time to watch them more than once because we have to prepare. So I can't just be lackadaisical and watch whatever I want to watch, right?
Casting ruined everything.
No, fuck they left.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It just changed it.
Yeah, it did. Well, Dolly and the Cocky Prince, watch it. I don't think you'll be disappointed.
It's on Vicky.
Oh, yeah, Vicky. Get Vicky by Vicky, everyone. We are not being paid to say that.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of the KDrama Divas podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode as much as we did. Before we part ways, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review wherever you get your podcasts. Connect with us on social media at KDrama Divas to stay up to date on recent podcasts and to share your thoughts and recommendations.